Hey, g'day, and welcome back to Mel's Crafty Paper Place. My name's Mel, and this is my Crafty Paper Place. Currently, I am prepping for the 20 base pages in 20 days with Ginger's Corner. So I'm just getting everything ready. I have got a lot of base pages because sometimes I just play with paper and I don't do a whole layout. I will just make base pages sometimes, just depending on how creative I'm feeling. You know, sometimes you kind of lose your mojo a little bit, and sometimes I just like to play with paper. I just like to stick down and do the bases. So what I normally do when I do base pages, I love page maps, and I find it a really good jumping off spot to do layouts. Like, it's just so easy. It's really, really good. And I always find, because I have such a variety of photos, I never find that I cannot find a photo. Always can find photos, especially with you know, papers that are multicolored. Like, you've always got something. So what happened was, I had a collection called, what's it called? Bungalow Lane, is it? Let me see, hang on, Jen. I've got it down here, hold on. One I prepared earlier. So I have got this collection, I think it's Bungalow Lane. Let me just checky. Yeah, I think it's called Bungalow Lane, isn't it? Hang on, let me get the little book out. And it's by Paige Evans. Why is there never a name on these things? Yeah, Bungalow Lane, on the back, because that's where we look for it. And I bought this, I think I bought this one from Spotlight, which is our local craft store here in Australia, like bricks and mortar craft store. And I bought the collection, which I really, really loved. And then when they were doing clearance, they had like the big 12 by 12 paper pads for like $7. Like, they're normally like $35, and they had them for $7. So I grabbed another one. And so I had two 12 by 12 paper pads. So what I did with one of them was just create some base pages. So I do have, when I buy embellishments, I do sometimes buy 2 packets, because 12 by 12 does create a lot of layouts. So I do grab extra for extra embellishments, and I do have like the thickers, I have cardstock stickers, foam stickers, and also the sheet, the cardstock, the chipboard 12 by 12 sheet and stuff. So I have got plenty of embellishments, but I am going to try and bring in some old and non-matching embellishments, like just stuff out of my stash to use with this, because I want to keep those embellishments as well, or some, to use with my other paper pads. So I want to like spread it out. So I am going to go through and dig from my stash, because I am wanting to use I'm on a mission to use my old stash, right? My really old stuff. We'll see what I can find. But to begin with, that'll be in my next video. But to begin with, for today, what I'm going to share with you is what I have done. I do have a lot of base pages. I think I ended up, where's my page? I think I had 10, 15, 16 or 17 base pages from that 12 by 12 paper pad. I think I used most of it except for like 3 pages, and some of them, the ones I really didn't like or wasn't fond of, I turned around and used the back side, because they're single-sided, so I used the white side. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. Now I'll show you what I have done. What I do, these are all my page maps that I have used for these base pages. And, oh, sorry, I don't know whether I mentioned, 20 base pages in 20 days with Ginger's Corner. She did this last year too, but this year she's invited lots of people to join her. So there is going to be a playlist for this, and it starts on the 1st of November. So we're just doing some prep now. I am a little bit behind as per usual. And it is currently like the 22nd of October, so I've got to get my bottom into gear. So what I have done with my layouts, and these are my base pages that have just been sitting over there in one of the IKEA boxes for about, I would have to say nearly a year. So like they're just sitting there. So let me put this one to the side, and I'll show you what I've done. And I put them in these sleeves as well, just to keep them nice and clean and organised. Just leave that one at the bottom. So what I went through last night and got all my photos. This collection is very autumny, lovely autumn colours, and it really went well with our honeymoon trip 20 odd years ago, like 25 years ago, however long ago, to Italy. So I was just pulling a lot of those photos. What I do is I write down with each page what one it was. So it's July 2020 page maps, and it's the double page. So August, July 2020, double page. So this is it. So put that to the side. This is my double page. And this is my base. Let's see if I did zoom the camera out today so that I knew I had double pages so that we could see the whole thing. Let me move my wallet and that from that side. I still got stuff on the side of my desk which I need to clear a little bit before I start this, but I did have a bit of a clean up the other day. You would have seen that in my other video. So this is my base pages. So I have got my two different coloured base pages. I did a blue and a pink star, blue stripe and a pink star. And then I did this scallop pattern paper between the two pages to carry across. I used washi tape, top and bottom, different one, which is on here. And also this little stripe paper down here is, I used the green one. Okay, and I have inked everything. So that's my base page. So I have just what I do is I just then go through and look at the photos and see roughly what I need. Sometimes I will change it up a bit. I just use this as inspiration, and I just go through and see what I've got, because you haven't always got everything all perfect, of course. So sometimes we just got to go with the flow and see what comes out. So this on here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photos, right? Big journaling spot. Like sometimes I am not going to use, let's make sure you can see that. The big journaling spot there, sometimes I'm not going to use a huge journaling spot. I'm not a huge journaler, so sometimes I'll use that as extra photo space, or I might just put a tag or a cut apart in there or something like that. Like if you haven't got all that many photos, just use like cut aparts. They usually come with a 12 by 12 paper pad. You'll have cut aparts in there and stuff like that. Just swap them out for whatever, or even pattern paper. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. So what I did, I went through and I started with my old Italy photos. I'm just going to put that to the side, and I'll leave that over there. And I don't think I have got 7 photos, to be honest, but my photos are going to be bigger than theirs. So my photos are not going to be really skinny. Like my sizes are going to be a little bit different, so I'm just going to like wing it. Like this one here, we have the wall, a lot of wall, so I'm going to chop that down. And it's not, some of these photos are not the greatest photos. They are what they are, and I'm going to use them. Okay, I'm thinking to put that one over there because there was a small photo over there. I've got the big 4x4 here, which I may just do that and then have a little journaling one coming down here and embellishment up there instead of like the whole big journaling spot. Okay, And then on this side we have, let me pop this here on top of that so you can see. And the photos are like 2.5 inches by 4, like 2.5 wide by 4 inches high. Well, mine are going to be totally different. I'm actually going to, instead of this portrait photos here, I'm going to use landscape photos. And I'm just going to put them like that. Roughly the same size, because if this is 4 high and that's 2.5, that's 6.5 inches high. And these are like 8. So I can chop a little bit off if I want, but no, I don't think so. And then I'm going to use that one over to the side. I may trim this one down a little bit, but they're just photos of us in Paris when we were in our place that we were staying. So that's, and then I'm just going to go from there. I may chop them down just a little bit, like this pole here. I might chop that down, and then I might chop this side of me. And then I will have room for the embellishments down there as well. So yeah, I'm just going to wing it. We'll see how we go. So that's generally what I do. So when I have a big paper pad, I get my page maps and I pick something that I like to start with. I mean, you've got a whole 48 pages of pattern paper to play with, and I just dive right in. And I figure, it doesn't. Sometimes you even have 2 pages, so you don't even have to worry about using something that you will want on something else. If I do have something like that, what I will do is I will just put the pages together and not cut them up. So to begin with, I will, like I wanted to do this double page, I will put all of these pieces of paper just together to the side. Get another one, say I want to do this one, I will pick a background paper, my little one, put those papers together to the side. I will end up with leftovers, which is fine, and then I'll put them towards other layouts. So one day I'll do that with you anyway, just to show you what I do, because it can help you really get through a whole paper pad like really easily. So now I put my left side on top of my right side. I am going to have my photos there and what sketch I use, and I'm going to put that back in my page protector. So I keep them in there just to protect them. And keep it, because we're really dusty here, so I do keep them to stay clean as well, okay? And with my washi tape, I have either put tape under it and or glue. I usually go around the back and I put glue there, just to make sure that it's going to stay, because they don't always stay. So then this one here, this is the back of it, and I've written on the back December 20, the bottom middle one. So let me get, oh, here's December 20. Okay, December 20, bottom middle. So it would be this layout. So let's turn over. Dust is everywhere, I tell you. So this is my base page. So I have got I've got a white background for this. Now, as you saw, I used a pattern paper that I would struggle to use because the back is white. So I have flipped that over to utilize it because it's a lovely white color on the back. Nice and clean, nothing wrong with that. So I've used it instead of white cardstock, and the papers are not super thin, so it's quite fine, like it's good thickness. I'm quite happy with that. It's just going to be in the page protector. All goods, right? So then I had a pattern paper behind here with the little dots on, and then a very boldish pattern paper on the top. So I have used this blue triangle paper on the top, blue and green pattern triangle, sort of like a quilter pattern. And then I have used this foil piece. This paper pad obviously had, oh, did they have foil pieces? Or was that from my 6x8? Let me doubly check, actually. Begging your pardon. It's been a hot minute since I made them. I think that might be from my 6x8 paper pad, actually, because it's got foil in it. So I have pulled in some papers from the 6x8 as well. And I like a bit of foil. So yeah, that's got a foil. Let's see if you can... Yeah, I quite like that. Not everyone's into foil, and that's all good. I like a little bit of foil. So what I want for this one also next was my photos. And again, big long journaling spot. I'm probably not going to have that. Let me see. Make sure you can see that. I'm probably not going to have that. I may have just a little card at the bottom here with a journaling spot on it. And I was thinking to bring in some Project Life cards to use for that, to get some of them used as well, which when I do my embellishments and that, I will go through that and have a look at that. But I wanted a big 6x4 photo and a photo that I could chop down to 3x3. Maybe I might go 4x4, something like that. Okay, so, oh look, I do have this in here as my journaling spot, but look, I don't know that I'm going to use that. I could actually push that to the top and cover the birds with the books. Now I have got a couple of photos of hubby. This is when we were in France, so I think I'm going to make that one my 4x6, and then I'm going to cut this one down, which will probably be like, it will not be 3x3, probably be 4x4. I'm not sure whether I'll leave it 4x4 maybe, or just chop it down a little bit at the side, so it might be just a little tad under, but I'm going to use that as well. I don't know how I'm going to do this one. I could do that maybe, because the books have nothing to do with that, so I may not use this card, but I don't know why I put that in there. Who knows? It's been sitting there for a year. My thoughts change, and it depends on what you're going to scrapbook as well. So, but they're my photos I'm going to use for that, and I may matte them as well with white. So yeah, I do like the birdies with the journal. I do like this card apart card, but it just might not suit this one. So, but anyway, we'll see as we get closer and I sort out my embellishments. No stress, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to leave my photos in there, and that's my second page. So that's what I basically do when I go through with a paper pad and make base pages, because sometimes I just want to play with paper. I don't always want to, especially if I'm lacking mojo, I will just play with paper and just make base pages and stick. That's all I want to do, and that's what I do. Now, the next one, I've got a few in here. In this one, I've got about 3 or 4 layouts. So I have a double page. I've used August 2020 again. And it says, I've left myself some notes. It says I need to trim a banner and use the cut aparts. I need 4 pieces apparently. But these are my pieces of paper here. So I haven't even put these ones on my cardstock yet. They're just there. But the one that I will be using is August 2020 double page. So it will be this one. Just here. Oh yes, I see why I said about the cut aparts, because it has like the little cupcakes there and there. So what I'll do, so I've got my pad and paper. I may even use some washi tape for the borders, or I will use my scallop punch. I'll dig out my punches. I might use ribbon for my my banners instead of paper. There's tags there, and I've also got these other darker piece of paper behind. So I may even use a coloured cardstock to sit on to start with instead of white for that one. But I've got my photos there. I've picked my photos. Then I have also got this August 2020 12x12 top left 2 smaller pieces. Oh, here we are. This one, that's for these ones. So you've got pattern paper on this side and the bottom, and I think I have actually used the 6x8 paper pad for this, I think, and maybe a leftover. And then I will use washi across the bottom, across there, and I'm not sure whether I might put it on a coloured cardstock background again. I may do that. And I have picked my photo, which is again just, I might be using some double photos. Like, I've got duplicates, but I may end up scrapping a few duplicates, but I'm not worried. I'm quite happy to, because that's me again. Anyway, I may just do that. It doesn't matter. I'm quite happy. we haven't got like super heaps of photos from over there, so we've got lots, but I don't know, I don't know. I can write different journaling on each of them. One like the other one about the room and where we stayed, and then I can just write something about how I felt about being in Paris. So like I can write different things in different journaling and it means something different. So even if it is the same photo, it's still going to be different. No one's really going to notice anyway when you go through it, because they're not going to be really, like they'll see your photo, but they're not going to say, oh wait, that's the same photo back there. You're not going to worry about that. Now underneath here I have got another base page hiding in the back here, in between them. This one I quite really like too. And I'm going to use, actually it's not the greatest photo of Sergio, but it's not too bad. He was just looking to the sun, so squinting. Let me see if I can pull it out. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to use this one with the blue on it, and it just goes so nicely in there. And this one is base page, I wrote on the back, from August 20, bottom middle. So is this page map here. Now it does call for different 3 smaller photos. I'm just going to use one, and then I'll have my journaling on the side. So just the one. I'm going to use one 4x6 because these photos are 2 by 2 1/4. I'm sorry, my photos are never that small. Very rarely am I going to be teeny tiny. So yeah, I'm going to use that. So that's that one. And I'll put my photo back in there with it. And then on the back, I have August 20. Well, obviously you liked a lot of layouts on here. Top right, this one here with the punched. I've used a punch on my white cardstock, so I've got that there already. I've got the pattern paper behind here. A little bit hard to see on this one, but there is pattern paper at the back by the looks. And then I've used white just to tone it down a little bit. Mine's a different shape because than this one that's been punched, because my punch, that's how it works. It works by a certain size. So I just went with the size. So a little bit different shape, and I figured that's okay because most of mine are like landscape photos. So that will fit okay. I was thinking sort of that at the time anyway. Then I have my other pattern paper, which I've got this small multicolored one. And I try and do that with my base pages as well, is I try not to be too monochromatic. I like to have one piece on there that brings all the colours in, so that gives you a choice of what you use on there. Because if it's monochromatic, like if you've got a pink layout and the people are wearing blue, sometimes it can look a little bit odd. It just depends. But sometimes too, like if I've got like a pink page, which actually you will see for my one of my other base pages, because I find it hard to bring in like a multicolored photo onto like a monochromatic base. So I do like to have a colored, like a multicolored piece of paper on there, and I find then I don't have trouble finding photos. But I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, that's my next one. So like, that's what I do. I'll just show you the rest of those really quick. I'll bring the pile over. So I've got April 21. This is another double page. So some of my pages are going to be double pages. Some are going to be single. Okay? But all 12 by 12 and yeah, all this size. My photos for this one are not very good because we're on a moving train, but I'm still going to scrapbook them because that's all I've got. Oh, and then I've got this one. I didn't do Italy for this one. This one I've got my kids, and when Saxon was really little, he turns, Saxon turns 10 on Friday. Today's Wednesday, so on the 24th. So yeah, and that's his big brother Soren. So very cute. He's very tall, little lanky baby. And then I've got another picture there of Bianca and Saxon to put on this part here. So I'm going to put that there. And then back to Italy photos. This actually is a piece of pattern paper, but I've just turned it over so that I can write on it. So what I will do is I will stick all my bases down and get them all prepped before I start my videos, because I'll be using the base. Some of them aren't stuck down, but that's okay. This is just getting everything ready. So I've got all the ingredients there. I've just got to stick it down. And then this one, actually, so Joe likes getting his, I don't know whether he likes it, but he always gets his photos taken, if we can, with the police vehicles in the country or anywhere. It doesn't really matter. So this one is using Sketch June 2021, and it's going to be the bottom left. And in this one there's lots of little squares, and I'm actually going to stitch those before with my sewing machine before I do this as well, and that's why they aren't stuck down. So that's why I've put my little note there. And this is a red background, and I thought that was really good for the red on the police vehicle there. Just, yeah, so a little bit monochromatic, but I do have the other colours coming in on the squares. So yeah, that's multicolored. Anything will go with it. This one I think is going to give me a bit of a headache, but we will see. I struggled to use the teacup paper, but I decided, look, we're over there having lunch a lot and eating a lot, so it's a lunching photos. But I used this as the backing paper, a pattern paper, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to cover that up or not. So the layout is from July 21, bottom left. July 21, I'll just show you. Bottom left. Okay, it's this one here. This is the sketch. So it has two big panels down there, and then a pattern and a like washi tape or a border piece across, which I haven't got yet. And I do see it's got ribbon, like twine up there, which I really quite like. So I'm not sure whether I might do put a white piece in there to put the photos on. And as you can see, my photos are going to be totally different. They're going to take up a lot of room there. So I am probably sorry, put the light there so you can actually see it because I'm looking at it. I'm gonna tweak it a little bit, and hopefully I can get it to work. But I might end up putting a white background piece there, and then put my photos up the top, and then put a little bit of twine across the top, or even maybe down the bottom. I'm not sure. Maybe in between the photos even, and then put my title down the bottom here. That's what I'm thinking, but we'll see how we go. Not sure. Giant teacups just were a little bit difficult, but I figured, well, I do like that they've got all like a little splash of colour on them, and they've got a little bit of pattern, yeah, but still a little bit tricky to use. But they go really well with the photos, like a little bit of red, blues and yellows all in the photos, matches it really well. But just the teacup pattern is just, yeah, hard for me. But anyway, this one here is July 21 again. So this is middle 12 by 12, second from bottom. Oh yes, this one here. That one there. I wonder if you can see it. Can you see it? I don't know why I put this in, but I think I put that there to mat the main photo. And then I put, for the circle element, I used a doily. So yeah. And I did mat the whole thing as well. So, which, did it have a mat on it? Yes, actually, it has like stitching or something around there. So I did a mat. Yeah, so be interesting to see how that one comes out. That was really easy. I think I'm going to change up my photos and just have two 4x6, or one 4x6 and one just a little bit smaller, and maybe put my title down here where it says, which is good. A little bit of embellishment across the top. Bob's your uncle. I'm going to go with that. Right, this is August 21. I used a bit of foil with this one again. This one I'm just going to do, because this I've already got a cut apart on this one, which says Grown with Love. I've actually picked a couple of photos from our garden, which is the fruit that Sergio has grown, because he's a way better gardener than me. Figs, peaches, not sure. Not figs. Peaches, maybe? Not sure what that is. I know that's mulberries. That's Mulberry's Fix. I'll ask him. Or if that's the peach. That might be the peach when it's really little. I will doubly check. Yeah. So I can write it on my journaling. But once again, I have got everything stuck down for that one. And I've got my chosen sketch there. This one here is another double page. This one I will do lots of photos on that one as well, and I've got to pick my background. I wasn't sure whether I was going to go with white or with a colour. I might choose a colour like out of this, like maybe pink, maybe red. I'm not sure. I think I struggled with it when I cut it as to, and that's why I didn't stick it down on like cardstock, because I wasn't sure what colour to do. But it does have like a yellowy, sort of ochre-y, tanny coloured yellow in, which I am thinking I might head towards that, like a tanny colour, really unusual sort of, you know, sandstony sort of colour, I'm thinking, because we're in, where were we, Florence, I think we're in Florence there with the fam, and yeah, you know, stone and all that kind of thing. I figured that might be nice. So that's those ones. So in those I had I think 17. I had 17 base pages, like a lot, which was really good. Then I also have this base pages as well. I actually have way more base pages. I have base pages in here as well. Let me put it up in the camera. There we go. Just so you can see. This is how I store them. I just put them in. I put some embellishments with some of them. So yeah, and again, I've used page maps. And I just pick one that I like. One usually that, if I've got a lot of paper to use, I'll pick ones that have a lot of paper on them to use, a lot of paper. And yeah, so I've got that album with, that's all base pages as well. And there's a fair few in there. Probably maybe 8 or 10 in there. But I'm not going to use those today. We'll save them for next one, hey. So I am going to use some out of this one here. I'm going to use this one here, which is quite an old, again, I'm heading towards old. This is an old Kaisercraft paper. And this one here is the monochromatic-y one. Not this one, but this one over here. And I struggle to get photos for them because there's just 3 colours in it, green, pink and purple. So, yeah, struggled a little bit. When so this one here, I have picked a photo. I hope you can see, there's not much glare. So I'm just going to pop the photo, and it's just of us at the airport, and there's some pinky and like whitish, greenish flowers. Like, that one worked really well because there's pink and green and white in it. So that's going to go there with some embellishments. And I'm probably going to put some like little embellishments in the circles as well, perhaps. But that's just a single photo layout, that one. And that is using page maps again. May 21 page map, top right. 12 by 12. Oh yeah, that's sticking on my circles. I must make sure my circles are glued down properly too. But yeah, I brought in outside paper to use for this one. This is not from that collection. This is from another paper pad, that green one. Because I had mainly a 6x6 paper pad, I think. I don't even know that I had 12 by 12 in this. But anyway, just to get it used, I must have done whatever I did. I can't even remember. This has been with me, sitting here for a long time. So I've had this probably sitting for like at least 2 years, at least. So that's from the page number 18. And this is 19 and 20. Oh, hang on, get in frame. There you go. So this one here, I'm going to use multiple photos of the kitties at home as well. I think this one I have a thing down the middle and then some photos cut down and wiggled down there, like lopsided. I think that's the sketch for that one. And then this one here is my last one. This was the one where I was struggling with getting photos, these ones. So I did go through some of Mum's photos actually, because I remembered she had a pink flower in there. So I'm going to pop that in on that one with the pink background there. It's got a little bit of sheen to it. This green paper here that I have matted the pattern paper on. Now I must have had 12 by 12 paper pack as well, but I don't think it was a full one, because that's definitely from the collection as well, this green polka dot one here and this. So yes, I must have had 12 by 12 as well, but not a full kit from the Kaisercraft. These are really, really old. These would have to be, what year are we in now, 2025? Soren was born in 2008, so they would be around there, maybe even a little bit before 2008, because that's how long ago these were released, so they're really old. And that was page 20, 19 and 18. So, and even in here I do have more from that collection. See, this is monochromatic. I'm going to have to introduce something to that, otherwise I feel like I've got to put green photos on it. But anyway, that's another story. Let's go down that path another time. What else have we got in here? Yep, lots of this is all whatchamacallits, base pages as well. I've got this one at the back that I just did as well. Like, I have this fancy page, specialty paper, and to protect it, because the little corners, like the little points, were getting a little bit damaged, and I didn't want them damaged, so I just popped it, I stuck it on the black cardstock just to keep it nice. And I don't even know if I have any other collection pieces on that. I just love it. I think it's gorgeous, but I don't have anything else from this collection, I don't think, so I will have to bring things in to finish the page. So yeah, that's in there as well. But I have picked my 20 pages to use with Ginger's Corners 20 base pages in 20 days, which starts in November, on November 1st. We're doing a page a day. So I will go now, and my next step is to, I'm going to bring in embellishments, and I will show you those as well. But for now, I will love you and leave you. I will go and do that, and I will be back again really soon. Thank you for joining me on the start of this getting ready journey, because it's 20 pages, so it's quite a lot, and it's the first time I've done this, so I really want to make sure I'm ready and can start recording. Well, thank you very much for stopping by today. I hope I haven't bored you too much, and I will see you again really soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.